Yeah, for Dragonheart, I watched the later ones, but then
We did good.
I will be
try
honest.
to forget that they exist.
I will be honest though. If you did want to play Dragon's Dogma, it's probably one of the better action RPGs out there.
Perseverance
Like
is the
combat mechanics wise.
Can't let this power.
I'll do my best. I'm starting to get technique.
Like
never
there is some like real hype moments of like climbing up a Cyclops to like slash at its armpit. To like knock it down and set it on fire, or like
sweetheart.
dropping meteors on things. Like it's a legitimately like hype game.
Wow, so it had fairly complicated boss battles? and
Yeah.
such?
Oh yeah. I mean, it doesn't have enough. I think the DLC adds some more, but like there's kind of an issue of limited
Ooh,
unit types.
you're an A+ professor level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we maxed that out last time with Fish.
Fish. Okay, so
Maybe.
support conversations, are you gonna do that?
Yeah, so we should do support conversations. Let's see. Well, we're here. Let's do some. Actually, you know what? We're gonna go back to this. I gotta go buy some yellow flower seeds and maybe a couple other ones.
Right.
Oh, but remember the merchant dialogue.
Hello
We're
there.
only buying like one thing
Oh, okay, that sounds bad.
Turn soon, please.
because I already bought the
welcome.
monthly gifts. But we're running low on some of these seeds.
You have a good eye. A pleasure doing business with. Come again.
It's still annoying though. Okay, items. No. Wait, storehouse? Ah. Okay. So we need, help me remember this. We need red and white flower seeds.
Red and white?
Yeah.
Okay.
Red, white, and any colors that we don't already have.
Welcome.
So
You
red,
have a good eye.
we're just going to buy a bunch.
All right,
A pleasure.
white.
You have a good eye. A pleasure doing business with you.
Let's double check. I bought a bunch of yellow, green, pale blue, purple, and blue.
Come
Ooh,
again.
people are wanting to know how far ahead this is from the YouTube series. In the YouTube series, we had fought Miklon. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. I think the episode for Miklon goes out in like a day or two if it's not already out.
No, it's out today.
Oh, today was the Miklon episode.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, based on episode
I can't even
17,
remember what
I think
occurs
is out
between
today,
then and the
that'd be
major.
15 hours. Let's knock off about 5 hours for grinding. There's about 45 hours worth of gameplay that we've already recorded. So,
And it's been I think it was episode 17 that was released.
yeah, so this is...
This
honestly,
is probably going to be episode
70-something?
70. Oh no.
Yeah. We've been recording a lot of this game. We have been... I mean, to effectively put it into... to explain why we've been recording so much, we have Oninaki coming out in 9 days.
And we still need to finish Lost Sphere,
We
which
still
was
gotta
the
finish
JRPG
Lost Sphere.
that came out before it
Which-
that was made by the same studio.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna fit that in. We should be able to fit that in if we just, like, spend an afternoon or two on it. The problem is we have chores and
Oh.
outings and stuff.
Though you have been making your episodes an hour long,
Yeah.
haven't you?
So we're gonna run through the Fire Emblem backlog about 1.5 times faster than normal, which is nice. Let's see, but it's still gonna take a while. You're gonna have to dig through a lot of VODs, aren't you? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not that sorry because, like, you're going to enjoy it, but, like, kind of sorry. Anyway, Shell?
Yeah. You're gonna have
let's
me
see.
handle all these.
No. I'm gonna go grab my netbook because I'm sick and tired of looking at gift lists on my phone
Okay,
because it's super small.
that's fine.
Go fish.
Wait, you want me?
So just press
do,
A.
Do I just press A?
Just press A.
Okay. That one's not big enough. Okay, that one's okay. Okay, good. I got a pike. Looks nice. Wander, how much do you want me to fish? Okay. Go earthworm. No. I will wait. Maybe I'll wait a little bit more. Wait! But that was a tiny fish. It only required 2 tugs. Ah. Alright, another earthworm. Ah! I might as well get this one. Woohoo! Perfect! Awesome. Fish? A bullhead. I don't know if we've ever acquired a bullhead before. Okay, another earthworm. That's a big blue fish, but medium-sized red. Let's see. Ah, got my timing off on that one. Right. Let's see what we got this time. Another pike. I got a bullhead at one point. Have you ever gotten a bullhead? Wander is saying, I'm sure I have. Another earthworm. Nope, that's a tiny blue fish. Another tiny blue fish. A larger blue fish. Oh. Wait a little too long on that one. A loach. Huh. Let's see what else we have. Oh, it's a red fish. I suppose I could have gotten it immediately. Aw, another little one. Because you can only wait 3 times. Herring. That's interesting. Okay, fine. I'll go for another red one. Ah. I was getting off there at the end. Though it's weird. The more... Maybe if you get perfect, then you get the super special one, because I've been able to get the same quality fish even with multiple...
It's absolutely
off.
randomized. Okay, anyway. I'm ready to go whenever.
Okay. After I get this fish.
I do really appreciate how self-explanatory the whole fishing thing is. Let's see. Yeah, they've been streaming this every day except for yesterday. There was no stream yesterday. Yep, we went and had a movie night with our friends from Stumped. So we were at Ash and Jazz's place.
We
and
saw
met up
3
with
movies.
Price and Atarla and Joe and Polty and the eponymous friend Shad. He is just friend Shad. He doesn't have a channel. We're probably going to play D&D with him starting in September. Unless he's too busy or doesn't want to stream, at which point that's fine. But that's when our next campaign is going to be starting, and probably be a large group involving him. Anyway.
Yeah, we might actually have more than 3 people playing at a time.
Yeah, we might end up with like 6 or 7, which might be a nightmare. We'll see. But like, I don't mind more the merrier as long as people play well. Anyway, let's, you know what? Actually, Shell, do you mind doing support conversations? Because effectively, I want to give gifts to people to, like, get their motivation back up because their motivation's crumbled. But we should probably see support conversations first, just in case.
Alright, we will see Claude, and we have Shamir and Petra by the looks of it.
There's really no better place for my midday nap than under the shade of a nice big tree. The twittering of the little birds. It's like they're singing a lullaby just for me. Ah! Is that a dagger? Am I being ambushed?
Claude, why are you lazing about? You should be training.
Shamir! Is this your doing? Talk about unfriendly. Another inch and you would have sliced my handsome nose clean off my roguishly beautiful face.
But I didn't. Fortunately for you.
You know, if you wanted to give me a talking to, you could have done so with your words instead. That's how most people do the talking thing.
Conversation was not my intention.
Well, what then? A prank? That's not better. I thought we were under attack. I could have died from the shock.
Look closely at the dagger.
Is that... Right. There's a poor spider impaled on it.
A poisonous spider. The tiniest bite from which can cause fever, headache, and relentless vomiting. Or worse.
Yikes. I guess this little guy is more vicious than he looks.
I noticed it descending towards your face.
Ah, so you saved me from a certain doom. Well, in that case, I'm sorry for questioning your motives. I promise to repay the favor someday.
I'll keep that in mind.
She's really good at impaling bugs, isn't she? And he's
She
always...
does not like things with more than 6 legs. 2, really. Well, no, she might like horses. No, she doesn't like horses. She throws daggers at horses, too. That's why she became a archer, so she could shoot down Pegasuses.
After she mentioned the vomiting bit, I thought for sure that Claude would go, maybe I can make use of this venom someday. But...
That would have been kind of fun if he's immediately just switches gears and it's like, oh, sweet, help me get his poison.
He starts collecting the sample.
Yeah. Like, I wish Claude did more of that.
Hey there, Petra.
Claude? Where are you?
Where else? Wait, I'll meet you down there.
Claude!
Oh, because she told him to go up a tree.
I thought you were not able to climb the trees.
True, and that is exactly why I worked like a madman to devise a new climbing technique.
I have much admiration for that. To climb is a skill with value.
What can I say? Okay, so I may have cheated a little by using my bow to shoot a rope over a branch, or a few branches, or all of the branches. But once I got up there and hauled up the ropes, it was the same result as if I'd climbed it your way.
I am understanding. That costs more time though, so it is not the best thing for hunting. But you are not harming the tree, so that is an advantage. I am liking this technique.
You're right. I didn't harm the tree at all. I'm surprised that impressed you.
The tree has a spirit. If you hurt the tree, you will give its spirit anger.
I see. I take it the people of Bridget have a close relationship with nature, then?
Trees give us food and also shelter. We are needing them, and they are needing us.
True. The people of Fódlan believe everything is a blessing from the goddess. They've forgotten to be grateful to nature, too. Nature gives us life, sustains us. Without it, we couldn't breathe, couldn't live. It's everything. It's fine to pray to the goddess, but we have to respect nature, too. Don't you think?
Yes. I do not know this goddess, but I know nature. That is the knowing I prefer to have.
You and me both.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I think their support conversations are super cute.
All right. Next we have Raphael with Bernadetta.
They should add nature magic to these games. That would be cool.
He's just watching her.
Ambush! I knew you were out to get me!
Ah! Bernadetta, please, calm down!
Calm down? Sure, why shouldn't I? Nothing's more relaxing than being spied on! I just love it when huge scary men lurk behind me with their insidious smiles and heinous schemes! Ugh, you just want to make me a laughingstock! Ruin me in front of everyone! I know it!
Please, listen! I only came to hear you play. That's it. promise. I'm not gonna make you perform in front of everyone else. I just wanted to hear you myself.
Just you? Nobody else? Really?
Really? I kept trying to ask, but you always ran away.
That doesn't mean you can just watch me creepily from the shadows, you know. That would scare anyone.
You're right, I'm sorry. I just didn't know how else to get your attention. You get so scared. But it looks like I ended up scaring you anyway. I'll leave you alone, Bernadetta. I really
Aw.
just wish I could have heard you play.
Raphael?
Oh. She'll have to play for him next time. What was she? What kind of
She
instrument
was
did she
singing, I
have?
think. Maybe
Well,
she wasn't. I think she was just singing.
He said that he wanted to hear her play. So there must be a kind of instrument of some sort along with it. It's too bad that they didn't have, say, a harp or a lute or a lyre or something that she could have been strumming on while she was humming. Alright, Lysithea can speak with... Oh, okay. Sylvain, the final conversation with Sylvain.
Sylvain, I've been looking for you. Do you have a moment?
Hey, Lysithea. I was about to grab some food. Would you like to come along?
Actually, yes. That sounds fine.
Great. Let's go. The dining hall isn't exactly relaxing, is it? If there's a next time, I'll take you somewhere with a much better atmosphere.
I don't really care about the atmosphere. I just wanted to apologize.
Nah, I get why you told me off. There's nothing you need to apologize for.
Can you just shut your mouth and listen for once? Here's something you may have already picked up on. I very much dislike being treated like a child. I've worked very hard to be where I am now, and such treatment makes it feel like all of that work is being ignored.
But I think you're a genius, and you work harder than I ever did. When I was your age...
Yes, you already told me all of this. Back then, you were just as devoted to goofing off as you are now.
Ah, so I already told you that. What a perfect memory you have.
And there it is. You're always so quick to flatter every woman you come across. I knew that, and yet I never thought you would direct your antics at me.
Look, I'm sorry, okay? I know how hard you work, and I really wasn't trying to upset you. I just wanted to chat.
I do not mind that you wished to chat with me. In fact, you might even say I was happy about it. Just a bit.
Seriously? It sure didn't seem that way.
Well, it's true. Your behavior is maddening. But in retrospect, I realize that was you treating me as you do all women, rather than like a child. I wasn't thinking about it like that at the time, and so I snapped at you. I could have perhaps approached the matter with a tad more maturity. Therefore, I would like to apologize.
An apology? That is not how these conversations usually turn out. There's no need for that, though. Really, you'll make me blush if you keep this up. Listen, Lysithea, I want you to know that I meant every word, even if sincerity is difficult for me. You're as lovely as you are clever, and you have this strange charm about you. That's what I really honestly think.
There you go again with your false flattery.
I swear to you, it isn't false at all. And it's not flattery if it's the truth.
Say what you will, you're still gonna have to earn my trust. Just this once, I'll cut you some slack. Don't get used to it. It's not like I can change who you are as a person.
Sweet and tolerant. You never cease to amaze.
I'll leave you with this. Don't say things you don't mean. It makes it impossible to tell the lies from the truth. Don't come crying to me if you carry on as you have and end up with no friends.
I have to say, Lysithea, your harshness is one of those things I find so charming about you.
You are exhausting. I guess the positivity is okay, though.
And it seems like they'll never talk beyond that. Let's see. We have Marianne. Oh, so she can only become friends with Marianne to be as well.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you about something? Yes. It's about animal behavior. Among us all, you surely know the most about animals. I've read that in outdoor battles, wild animals can sometimes cause unexpected confusion. What do you think would be the best strategy to... are you listening, Marianne?
I was listening. I just don't think I can really...
For crying out loud! Why do you always have to admit defeat before even giving yourself a chance?
My advice would probably just put everyone in danger. You'd be better off without me.
This is beyond ridiculous. You're impossible. You seem convinced you're some sort of cursed being, destined to bring doom and gloom to anyone you encounter.
Well...
Why do you have such a terrible opinion of yourself? How could you possibly be so dense?
Just
nothing. Now you listen to me for a moment. I can see that you have some deep-seated turmoil you struggle with. I'll have you know I have quite a few issues of my own, perhaps more grave than yours, if you can imagine.
Really?
Yes, but I'm not the only one who has such troubles to contend with. Everyone does. That's why it's so important to maintain a positive outlook and do what we can. Each time we find the light in the dark, we grow, bit by bit. And without growth, what's the point in carrying on?
Lysithea, I envy your confidence and strength.
Don't envy me. Instead, just choose to find the positive, won't you?
Yes. Well, maybe someday.
The time is now! This is your moment!
Oh, okay.
That's more like it. Now to start, why don't you help me out by answering my questions about wild animals?
I'll certainly try my best.
What do you think of that?
I mean, yeah. Self-esteem is a hard thing to work around, and I think yelling at somebody is kind of rough.
Well, also, they didn't seem to bring up the whole crest business.
I don't think she wants to mention it. Also, potential spoilers.
Mhm.
That's the one problem I have with these support conversations is
they
that-
don't evolve with the game.
Yeah, and I understand why they can't, but like, it'd actually be kind of nice if some of these support conversations were locked behind other people's support conversations. Like, straight up, there's a linear arc on, like, Marianne's personality, and by getting all of these other support conversations, you end up, like, learning about her, learning about, like, her hopes and dreams,
And then when
by the end of it, her personality
crest beast is killed, then...
Yeah, and so, like, you would almost have this kind of, like, spider web, like, a line, and you have to get, like, one support conversation per, like, group, and say there's, like, 9 stages or something like that. And by the end of it, she's more confident, she has hopes and dreams, you've killed the beast, and she's pretty confident that she's not going to become like him either, and so on and so forth. Because the problem is that half these conversations are, oh, Marianne, why do you not believe in yourself? Because I don't believe in...
Also the whole, saying, you just have to choose the positive, and
Yeah.
everything seems a little bit too patronizing.
Yeah.
In a way. Because it'd be better to offer to lend an ear, to be supportive, than to tell someone to just
Yeah. The problem
put
is,
those
like,
feelings aside.
with games like these, we have complex character problems. If it's not written well, it can actually feel a bit, like, jammed in there. It's like, mental health help, but, like, wrong. Like, get over it as a coping technique with mental health problems. It's just like, geez, have you tried being happier? Smile more. Like, we've already heard a couple of these things, and it's like, I realize within the context of the game, it's fine, and that's what works. But, like, in real life, like, if somebody told me half this stuff, I'd stop talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like...
And in the case of Lysithea and Marianne, I would have hoped that, barring that you did find out about Marianne, like, we still haven't discovered what's up with Lysithea's crest.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious whose conversation is going to elucidate the fact that, like, she has 2 crests and it's probably shortening her lifespan or something.
We know that Marianne has the crest of the beast and that it was taboo because of the exiled saint.
Yeah.
But...
like, how cool would it be if, like, there was a lock on the Marianne, like, support conversations until you finish that mission, and then she opens up to people about it, or they even know about it. And they're like...
because I would have rather that the conclusion to Marianne and Lysithia's
okay,
friendship...
so Linhardt and Hanneman. Or Lysithia.
Yeah. Okay. That they would have discussed, you know, oh, I have 2 crests, and, oh, I have the crest of the beast. But don't let our crests determine who we are.
Mm-hmm.
That would be better. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In case Marianne with Sylvain. Oh, and this is the B, the end of theirs.
Hello, Marianne.
Why is it romance music?
Won't you at least tell me why you're avoiding me? It hurts. It really does.
I'm not avoiding you. I'm just not very good at talking to people in general.
I told you I'm on your side, and I meant it. I'm guessing you don't much like talking about crests. Call it a hunch.
Well,
I'm the same way, you know. The value of my life has always been dictated by the damn thing. It's not fair to have your worth determined by something you can't control. Growing up in House Gautier taught me that the hard way.
What do you believe determines a person's value?
I like to think it's a person's smile.
Huh? Their smile?
A smile. It tells you who someone is. Are they fake or sincere? It also makes you feel stronger when you smile. My smile helps me focus and set free all of that power I never asked for.
I wonder.
Try it out, Marianne. Be strong-willed and put everything you've got into your smile.
Smile. Be strong-willed. How's this?
Yeesh, that's a terrific first try. If a bit stiff, lift the corners of your lips just a bit. Oh, I know. Try saying cheese.
Cheese?
Look at that face.
Hey, that was good. It might feel a bit unnatural, but you'll get used to it soon enough.
Cheese. Are you sure this will make me stronger?
Guaranteed. It's a great smile, you know? Let's go to town and show it off. If you lift your eyes from the ground, you'll see that the world has all sorts of amazing things to offer. The more you realize that, the more you'll smile.
I'll think about it.
Please, don't let me pressure you. If you don't want to go, I understand.
It's not that I don't like going into town. I'm just eager to get back to my room. I want to go practice my smile. If I keep practicing, maybe someday I'll be ready to go into town with you.
Oh yeah? That sounds great. I can't wait to see your best smile.
And it never happens.
Nope. Well...
because they only get to see what will be.
Yeah. She never finishes practicing.
Wonder, it's not even that. But once again, you're just talking about the whole, like, smile for me, please.
I mean, in that case, it was at least a little bit more positive. You know, like, don't let me pressure you. It was a little bit more friendly.
Yeah, he was.
Like, I'll be honest, compared to, like, Lysithia is just like, be happy, stop, believe in yourself more. It's like, But that was at least better. Because, like, you could kind of tell they wrote that from a sensitivity point, even if he's just like, yeah, try smiling more and, like, look around, because there's more to look at. Like, I like the line that if you, like...
if there will be more to smile about if you
if you take your eyes off the ground, you'll see that the world has more to offer, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, whatever that line was really smooth.
Really
And
well
I
done.
appreciated that.
Okay, so we have Caspar.
That doesn't feel good at all.
Hilda.
Ugh, why did he have to punch me so hard?
Hey, Caspar, something the matter?
Oh, hi, Hilda. Yeah, I just got in a little fight. No big deal. Definitely won.
Your face is all swollen. That looks painful. Come on, let's get you to the infirmary.
No, that's really too much. Like I said, I'm fine.
Don't argue, just come along. You look ghoulish.
Huh? Maybe it's worse than I thought. Oh, whatever. It can't hurt to have it looked at.
There! That should do it. You'll be alright now.
Great. Thanks, Hilda. I had no idea you were so good at this.
I always tended to my big brother's wounds, so I have lots of experience. I'm curious, though. Why are you always getting into fights? You really got hurt. Surely it would have been better not to bother.
It's not like I go looking for fights, and I'm not always the one who starts them. There are just a lot of guys in this world who won't listen to reason. Somebody's gotta beat some sense into them.
So that's why you're always picking fights. Why not ignore them, or ask someone else for help?
Maybe that's how you'd handle it, but I can't just look the other way.
How very gallant. But maybe you should try showing a little restraint.
You really think that?
Yes, I do. I don't think you can solve all your problems by throwing a few punches. The world's a big place. At this moment, all over Fódlan, countless people are in some kind of trouble. But they'll figure things out one way or another, even without you there. Try to hold back and see what happens. Maybe you'll be surprised. Besides, if you're always picking fights, you might get so badly injured that you can't protect me.
Now that's a good point right there. I guess I could give this whole restraint thing a shot.
That's funny. Alright. Yeah, we're not doing S,
Nope.
right?
No.
That
We could, but no.
No. The S's are... There's a specific event where you choose one of your S's? Is that what it... Or one of your A students?
Yeah, you choose one S.
Yeah.
Which we should probably pick one, because otherwise people aren't going to, like, let us ever live it down. But
I know, but... We haven't really chosen a favorite character, per se.
no. Like, I like the idea of Flame, because...
Well, we were the one that wished... We wished on the tower with her.
Well, it's
and
also
you
one of
wanted
those...
to go along with the let's be together forever thing rather than the let us both find happiness. It
Yeah.
was the to be together forever. And also, there's fairly solid implications that Seteth and
Flame or
and Flame are-
dragons, or
well-
something.
well, that they're
Yeah. Because I get the feeling that the main character is
Keyhole
also going to
and
live, like, an
Setething.
impossibly long time. Or have a really short life.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing that they're not... well, we don't know what's going to happen at the end of this game, but yeah, who knows how long a lifespan they or the main protagonist has and all this. But that begs the question then, if they're already 1,000 years old, then...
Yeah, I mean,
what does
they'll be
that
cradle
make
robbing
you...
Gerald's, but he doesn't have any room to complain right now anyway. Seteth, new dad.
Oh, Seteth! Good day to you, and farewell.
Just a moment, Hilda. How are you feeling?
Sorry? Oh, fine. I'm doing just fine.
I'm glad to hear it. I had heard that you requested a substitute for your cleaning duty due to an illness.
You really do know everything, Seteth.
Just prior to that, you also asked for someone to take your place with table setting. I believe that was due to a wrist injury. It was not too serious, I hope.
Ah, you heard about that. The wrist is all healed up, thank you.
I seem to recall also that you declined to participate in a mock battle. That was due to a headache, yes?
Uh-oh.
I have a very fragile body, you see? It's so kind of everyone to make accommodations.
Fragile
Indeed.
body, my ass.
It is a great friend who offers to help without complaint. See that you treasure such friends, and that you return the favor.
Of course. Well, then I should really be...
By the way...
Was there something else you wanted?
It so happens I am on my way to the chapel to offer my prayers. Would you care to join me?
No, I wouldn't want to intrude. I've already offered up all my prayers for the day.
Marvelous. We must always remember to give our thanks to the goddess. It is essential that we offer our prayers to her each day, that we reflect on our deeds and strive to live as she would want us to live. For the goddess sees all that we say and do.
I...
Now, if you will excuse me.
Of course. Goodbye now.
She's getting caught up in her
How
lies.
is Seteth so scary? It feels like he can see right through me. I guess that's his way of saying stop being lazy. I wish he'd just scold me outright. This is precisely why I try to avoid him.
Oh, but I think that's a tactic, isn't it? To get the person to reflect on their own fault without necessarily pointing it out.
Yeah.
Because all he did was bring up every single thing that she had lied about.
Well, yeah, he was more or less saying, like, you're not fooling anyone.
Oh, your headache? Oh, your wrist injury? Oh, man, I feel bad about my wrist. It's kind of chronically injured.
Like, there
at
are
this
such
point.
things as actual chronic injuries. I will admit, he'll just like, oh, woe is me, I can't do anything. Personality is a little frustrating as somebody who's, like, constantly towing the line with, like, probably actually maybe hurting myself. Probably not. I manage it well.
With your hands from playing games so
Well, yeah,
often?
part of the reason why you're doing this right now is because my hands ache from the 80s. And so, like, normally, I can play fine afterwards, but, like, support conversations, I'll just let you handle it because, like, wow.
Oh, wow, Leonie has a number.
She gets to chat.
Here. I patched up the clothes you gave me.
Hey, thanks. You've helped me a lot lately. I feel like I should be doing this stuff myself. But ever since you patched up my sleeve, I've been really interested in your craft.
Craft? You mean my embroidery?
Yeah. When I saw what you were doing, I thought, what the heck is that? But it turned out to be a nice touch, once I was actually wearing it. Practical, too. When you're embroidering, you patch up the torn parts with new cloth, right? And that strengthens it, so the same part won't break as easily next time.
I'm glad you like it. At first, I felt like you thought it was stupid. I was worried you secretly hated me or something. It made me pretty scared to show you my stitching.
Sorry. I should have told you I liked it. Thanks, Bernadetta. I'm glad I asked for your help.
Oh, it's nothing.
What'd you make this time? A hornet, huh? You do like the scary critters, don't you?
It zips out from the trees and strikes, just like you.
I sting like a hornet, do I? Actually, I like that. You know, you ought to be more confident.
What?
You're good enough at sewing that you can make a living out of it. You should take pride in that. Your skills would be really useful to the war effort, too. We're always needing equipment mended.
Useful? Oh, no. I'm completely useless. Even more so on the battlefield.
Oh, that's not true at all. You've been a great help. Maybe I'm a better fighter, but I've got nowhere near the same skill at sewing. We can help each other. Isn't that what friends do?
Friends? We're friends?
Hey, come on. I know you're not the most confident, but this is getting silly. Of course we're friends. I completely trust you.
Leonie?
Yeah?
Get your clothes torn up as much as you want. I'll always be here to patch them right up.
Right, for sure. But I wasn't just talking about embroidery, you know.
Okay, we'll see Felix. They're
Sorry
going to spar?
to keep you waiting.
How long did you expect me to stand here?
I did just say sorry, but I could say the same to you. You were pretty slow to settle on a time.
I can't help having a busy schedule. Plus, I thought you could use the extra time to prepare.
We could go back and forth like this all day. Or we could get started.
You were the one who kept me waiting. Let's begin.
On my signal?
Hurry up.
That's better. Okay, go!
Let's see what you...
Is she besting him?
A pit trap?
That's right. How you feeling down there?
Coward!
Say what you want, but Captain Gerald taught me this one. You're heavier than you look.
I'll admit, I wasn't expecting that.
If this were for real, you'd be dead. Aren't you glad I put straw down there instead of spikes?
Yes. I underestimated you. I suppose your lateness was a ploy to distract me.
You're not wrong. I did it to rile you up. Draw you in. You're capable, confident. I was counting on that. So, what do you think about Captain Gerald's training now?
His technique worked and you won. What else is there to say? Winning is all that matters. You drew my attention to a major vulnerability. I'll need to be wary of traps. Thank you, Leone.
Seeing as you're thanking me, can I ask you a favor? Will you come watch my next training session? I'd like a few pointers about fighting in close quarters.
The loser must pay tribute, I suppose. Yes, I'll help you train.
You will? Thanks!
She really is the only one that Felix actually is kind to.
Yeah.
Or at least respectful. It's more of a respect rather than kindness.
He's probably kind to, like, Petra and, like, one or two of the other more, like, militant ladies.
We'll have to see.
Because I bet he'd probably be nice and polite to Ingrid as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that's, like, a competent fighter, but I think he's a dick to anybody that's a mage or lazy or a dude. With the exception of, like, he might not be a dick to maybe Ferdinand and a couple other characters. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Part of it is we've had Felix only speak with, say, Raphael and Hilda and a couple other people, and they were always annoying him, you know? Whether it be with sweets or with requests or tardiness, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In any case, Sylvain. Let's see what happens with Leone.
Well, hello there, gorgeous.
Oh, he's flirting with someone else.
You're looking lovely today. Join me on a stroll around town? Aw, is a sweet girl like you doing all this hard work by yourself? That's no good. Allow me to help.
Hi.
Oh, hey, Leone. Sorry, but I'm kind of in a hurry right now.
Hey! Get back here!
Whoa, no need to yell. Do you need something?
You chat up all the girls like that, don't you?
What a terrible thing to say. I see a girl, I figure it would be rude just to pass her by without at least a wink, or a nice word. But you knew that, so I'm going to get going now. See you, Leone.
Wait, now hold on! How come it's not rude for you to just pass me by?
Me? Pass who now?
Look at me! I'm a girl, you know.
Oh, I see. A girl. You're a girl. Huh. Sorry. I know it's true in theory, but it looks like my brain just didn't want to accept it.
Oh.
But you're correct. You are a beautiful girl in your own right. Yes, that is a statement with which I agree. I am ever so terribly sorry for being so rude, my lady. How can I ever make this up to you?
Hang on, back up. Don't get the wrong idea.
Seriously, I feel just dreadful about how I acted. This is the first time I've done anything like this. It's shocking that I'm capable of such low behavior. Even if you are a somewhat crude, spirited girl, that doesn't excuse my...
What did you just call me?
Right, of course. I'm sorry. I can't believe I was so thoughtless.
Hey! Acting pitiful won't get you anywhere. I won't just forget about this, you know.
I wish she started properly panicking, like Bernadetta style, and like runs away like screaming. It's like, I don't know what to do! Shoot! Girl! Run!
Nah, it was a situation where...
Because he almost sounded sarcastic, which was my problem.
Yep. he flirts with all the girls, but oh, she isn't girly enough to be a girl that he flirts to at. And she was actually
so
so she doesn't approve of him hitting on the girls, but is at the same time
I think the thing is, she has several things against him. One, he generally goes for the girlier, like, more vulnerable girls, and so his problem is he is the opposite of Felix, where he doesn't get along with the more strong-willed girls because they very clearly are like, kind of counter to his wiles, ? But also, like, she is a commoner, she doesn't have a crest, nor is she at all interested in his own crest, or holdings, or anything. She is an equal, and he doesn't know how to deal with that, because he doesn't treat himself as an equal. Because he's kind of down on himself. You know, he's like, I'm lazy, I don't really like the lot that I was given in life, I don't like the responsibility, I don't like the fact that I have a crest. And
do you think at the same time I don't want to say that there was a tinge of jealousy there on her part?
Oh, probably. I mean, she wanted to be treated like a woman. Even if it was the wrong kind of attention, it would still validate her existence as...
Mm-hmm. But then, of course, she went back on that saying, too, and it's like, when he starts to admit, oh, yes, you are a beautiful woman, I should treat you the very same way, it must have just completely been a lapse of
I mean, to some
character.
degree, she was probably mostly just messing with him.
She was probably wanting him to treat her that way so that then she could give him a scolding. And then when he didn't treat her that way, she still gave him a scolding. Alright, let's see. Leonie and Seteth.
Oh, hello, Seteth.
Hello, Leonie. I imagine you are here to fish?
Yeah, this is a great spot for it. You must be a pretty experienced fisherman, huh?
Actually, while I have enjoyed the hobby for a long while, I must admit I am less than proficient.
Now that you mention it, I can see you're not having much luck today.
It is likely because I am not using any bait.
Well, that explains it. But why bother fishing at all if you're not even trying to catch something?
Truthfully, I fish only so that I might relax. It is soothing to me to cast the line and watch the water ripple. My days are busy, even hectic. It helps to find peace and quiet every so often.
Oh, that makes sense. Still, if you're going to go to all the trouble, you may as well actually bait the line.
Maybe so. But, to my chagrin, I do not even know what type of bait to use. I learned to fish by accompanying my wife. She was always the one to bait the hooks. She would hand me the rod and I would cast my line. I never paid attention to how the rest was done.
Ah. And your wife, where is she now?
She passed away quite some time ago. Since then, I have only to fish on my own. Even so, I find peace out here. Bait or no bait. What about you? Why do you fish?
Me? Just for the fish, actually. For me, it's purely practical. Catch a bite now, one less meal to worry about later. Hunting, fishing, whatever it takes to get by. That's how I've always done it. I'm not exactly starving right now, but back then if I couldn't catch something, I'd go hungry. So getting the hang of it was pretty vital.
I would certainly say so. I imagine it is intensely satisfying to catch a fish when the need is so great.
Probably, yeah. The need makes it more purposeful. But hey, if you ever want to try fishing for real, I'd be happy to share my bait with you. And if you catch something, I'll cook it up nicely for you. How's that for motivation?
Oh, are you a skilled chef also?
Can't promise it'll be fancy, but it'll taste good.
Impressive. Wouldn't you know it, I am suddenly overcome with the urge to excel.
Great! Let's get started.
Fish? Bonding over fish. We have Bernadetta and Felix. And Seteth.
You.
You?
What did I do? Am I in your way? I'm in your way. I know, I get it. I'm sorry. I can't stand the sight of me either.
I never said that. Stay right there. You're always running away. You must really find me irritating.
Irritating, I know. I completely... What? No, I mean, I know I'm irritating, but... Huh?
Stop. Do you remember when you came up behind me and knocked the sword from my hands? I need you to teach me that technique.
Sword? Teach? Technique? That's a joke, right? Because that's just about the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Wasn't so, but I saw you do it. You don't remember? You moved like a flash, and before I knew it...
Nope, wasn't Bernie. You must have dreamed it.
But
unless my accuser dares to produce some evidence...
Yes, evidence. I still have your satchel, see?
Oh, my satchel. Wait, that? No, that's not mine. You can't prove it's mine.
You know it's yours.
Has she lost her marbles?
I'm innocent, I swear. Merciful Seiros, save me!
This is getting nowhere. But, maybe I should corner her like last time. Then she'll use the technique without thinking.
Oh no!
Never mind. I'm done here.
Lies! All lies! I didn't do any... Uh-huh? Well, where'd he go?
Does she have a lapse in her memory when she's in freak out mode?
Maybe? Here, I think we're almost done. Are we?
No, we still have
God.
so many.
Okay. I guess we'll keep organizing stuff for D&D and so on and so forth.
Okay. So, Setething and Bernadetta.
Excuse me.
Yes? What is it?
I'm really sorry about what I said. I shouldn't have called you scary, even if, you are. I said it again. I'm sorry.
It is nothing I haven't heard before. I am well aware of my austere nature, and I am accustomed to the commentary it brings. I do confess, however, that I was slightly hurt to see you flee from me in such abject terror.
Don't be sad. I'll never do it again. I promise. But, I've been wondering, were you really writing a farewell letter?
Ah, that. No, actually. I was composing a fable centered around Saint Indek.
I didn't know you wrote fables. But what's it about?
Saint Indek, one of the four saints. He was an extraordinarily shy person.
Oh,
it is said that he spent most of his life in solitude, unable to open his heart to anyone.
I like him already.
He was, after all, a man who hid himself away at the bottom of a lake.
What's that about a lake?
Nothing. Now, something else to know about Saint Indek is that he had incredible skill with his hands. And that skill made him beloved by the people because he constantly applied it to their benefit. The moral of the story is that shortcomings can be made up for with talent and kindness.
I like it. But I don't have any talents like that. I can't even imagine being that helpful to people. Saint Indek must have been really gifted.
Don't be so quick to dismiss your abilities. You and he are actually alike in more ways than one. You possess Indek's crest, after all, do you not?
Yes, I do. You really think we're alike? Now I want to know all about him. Do you think I could read your fable when it's done?
Absolutely. Indek's example is something that we can all learn from.
Thanks so much. I'm excited to see it.
Oh. So Indek kept to himself when he was a turtle. I wonder what his talent was for. Was he a crafter? Maybe. He's a seamstress. Makes sense. Now he can have support conversations with Ash, Sylvain, and Flame.
I'm a little disappointed some of these crests have like no outside of combat ability. Like, how rad would it be if Bernadetta's crest was like purely for like crafting things? Like being a boyer or something.
Did you say what?
I must have left it in the library.
Making bows.
Oh, is that
Bowyer.
Felix?
Boyer.
Hey, Felix. This is a surprise. I didn't think you had much interest in books. I'm already finished with that one. You can borrow it if you'd like.
No need. I was just curious who it belonged to.
Why not read a few pages at least while you've got it open? I think you'd really like it. The plot is pretty different from a typical Knight's Tale, but it's still really good. Do you like stories about adventure and chivalry?
No, I despise them.
Yeah, well, have you tried reading any? You might find them really interesting. I know I do.
What do you find so interesting?
Well, for one thing, the knights in these stories are always gallant and brave. And they always value things like friendship, loyalty, and justice. That's the kind of knight I want to be.
Ridiculous. Friendship, loyalty, justice. Only fools allow their lives to be ruled by such nonsense. Fools who get themselves killed for nothing, only to be celebrated as heroes in books like this. Writers of these stories are worse than tyrants. They seize control of people's thoughts.
That's a little much. I was only interested in...
I don't care. Such blind enthusiasm is dangerous. Be more moderate in your passions.
You know something, Felix? You are exactly like the knight in this story.
Excuse me?
On the surface, he's sarcastic and intimidating, but underneath, he's kind and cares for his friends. In the end, they become heroes together and conquer all obstacles.
Disgusting. Stop looking at me like that.
Oh, see, right there. That's just what I mean. You sound exactly like him. I'm going to lend you this book, really, I insist. Just give it a read, all right? Trust me, and you can tell me what you think when you're done.
Why is this happening?
This really makes me want to play a JRPG. Kind of like Octopath.
Where you're the unwilling hero.
Well, no.
Nope.
Well, sort of. Where
Very
you have
jaded and
8
cynical.
characters to play as, but they have these actually like in-depth conversations between each other always. Well, not always, but like this game has the problem where the cast is, it's a fine size for what it's setting out to be, but I'd love to play like a focused cast thing where you don't have a main character and you can pick any one of these characters to be the main character and the story's just told from their perspective with slight variations between. So like, yeah, you could play as Felix, the asshole, with maybe less of a heart of gold, but still.
No more water.
I can go get more. But like, I don't know. I guess just I enjoy all of these support conversations more because they're actually interesting characters, and it's still going to stick out to me because like more JRPGs need this level of writing for the character dialogue, because like in 3 conversations I learn more about these characters than I do in like most JRPGs. Like,
because you would have to rely on cutscenes and
even then, like, half the cutscenes is just the person reacting to the plot at hand, and there's very little character development. Like, you brought up Lost Sphere earlier. Neat game, but, like, only 2 or 3 of the characters actually have any character arc, and the rest are just, like, there.
and they just stand by and react.
Even same thing with Final Fantasy 12, like...
Well, I'd never even played through the
I've played some of it.
12.
I wouldn't mind going back and, like, sitting down for it, kind of this style, just, like, spend a week, beat Final Fantasy 12.
There's gonna be Final Fantasy 7 coming out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'd still like to play through... of the Final Fantasies, I want to play through 6, 7's remake, maybe 8. I didn't enjoy it so much. 9, 12.
You've played 10 and 10 too many times.
Yeah, I like 10 and 10 too. I like the world, but
We started playing 10, but I don't know why we stopped. Just the
You were
turn-based
visiting
combat.
for a week and we didn't have more time.
Yeah, we didn't have more time. Alright. Let's see, Felix and Sylvain and Flame.
Well, while you do Sylvain, I will go get water.
Okay.
Sylvain, I want to apologize for the other day.
The other day? What are you talking about, Felix? Is this a trap?
You know, when I called you insatiable.
Oh, that? Can't say it didn't hurt, but you have nothing to apologize for. I mean, you've said worse, Felix. Considerably worse. Come on, we've known each other since we were kids. We're not gonna let your constant verbal abuse get in the way of our friendship, are we?
No, I suppose not.
Whenever I started doing something dumb, you'd yell at me about it.
And whenever you dragged me into something, Ingrid would find out and start lecturing us.
All these years, and not much has changed, has it? But you're different, Felix. You used to be so, I don't know, carefree when we were young. Now you're the exact opposite.
Well, you're not any different. Good for nothing then, good for nothing now.
Again with the abuse. This from the guy who's always been by that good-for-nothing side. So, did you come to apologize, or to insult me?
I was on my way to train and I saw you. That's all.
You're off to train again? Now who's insatiable?
Better than sitting idle like you.
A little idleness would do you some good, pal. Come on, let me buy you something to eat.
No.
You have to choose, Felix. Our friendship, or your training?
My training. Goodbye for now.
Ouch.
What did... Is he... Wait, Felix, I'll come train too. Wait up.
Or was that just a ploy on Felix's part to get him to come along?
What'd he do?
So, essentially, they were reminiscing about... Well, at least Sylvain was reminiscing about how he, Felix, and Ingrid were this inseparable trio. And how Sylvain always got down to, like, no good schemes, and Felix would always chastise him about it. And how Ingrid would try to temper the situation and calm everything down. And Sylvain brought up that he was just being very verbally abusive and such, and they're going back and forth about that. And then Sylvain posited the question of, well, will you choose our friendship or your training? And Felix was just like, my training. And he walks out. And Sylvain's like, wait, I'll train with you, or something like that.
That is kind of ouch, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've definitely had friends that have, like, bailed on our friendship in favor of girls. They're kind of sort of their work. Like, I've had a number of YouTube friends who I'm like, hey, let's do stuff together. And they're like, no, I only want to, like, do solo stuff from now on because, like, multiplayer is inconvenient or doesn't fit my schedule or something like that. And I'm like...
And they're also the ones that are just like, I'm going to be continually abusive and I'm not going to temper myself.
Yeah.
Even when we asked them to be nice. Just like, okay, well, goodbye. In any case, back to... At that point, you realize they're not friends.
Yeah.
Let's see. Felix can also talk with Flame.
Flame, what's that you're hiding?
Oh no, my surprise is spoiled. I had brought some fruits for you to cut up in addition to
Fruit
the firewood.
Ninja.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
variation might prove amusing.
No, I'm not doing that again. I've got better uses for my sword than chopping up fruit and firewood.
I cannot imagine what could be better than chopping fruit.
Chopping up my enemies.
You say that as though you have many enemies. So you would rather chop people than firewood, is that it?
That's not how I put it, but a blade's purpose is to kill. To chop wood, use an axe. To chop food, use a knife. It's simple.
Surely it is not forbidden to use your sword for other things, like chopping fruit. Swords that cut inanimate objects are serving a much finer purpose than those that cut living beings.
What a noble sentiment. but without a blade to cut down your enemies, you cannot win. Those who are weak lose everything and they die. Those who are strong win and live on. I understand why you balk at bloodshed, but you must know that it has a purpose.
And what purpose might that be?
A purpose. Let's just leave it at that. I'm not in the mood to debate you. I'll continue to wield my sword, and if necessary, cut down my enemies.
He certainly is a stubborn one.
I'm thinking to the concept of having people on a battlefield cutting each other down in, say, the medieval times and whatnot. And it really boils down to when negotiation fails.
Violence.
People bring, violence. But also, is it really just a numbers game? Who has the better technology? Who has the more loyal followers?
Tactics. It's a large number of different things.
It is. And like how many resources you have if you know the terrain and everything, but it really just boils down to how demoralized and how...
it's a lot of factors. It's not just morale, it's not just equipment, it's not just terrain.
But all it succeeds in doing is supporting someone's goals or desires or wants, but through a means that severely damages an opposing force or side, or it's hard to explain, but it's really just use of force
to get your way.
Yeah. And I suppose what she was bringing up is how fruitless it is fruitless.
I just want their A-rank support conversation is that she brings fish and just starts throwing it at him regardless of whether he wants it. He's forced to use his sword for something other than cutting people down. Anyway, let's keep going, because we're almost done. We're almost free.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Sylvain.
Wow, Ash, training again? You're taking this whole knight thing pretty seriously.
It's just my daily training. Maybe you could stand to be a little more eager yourself? If I want to be a great knight, I've got no choice but to put the effort in.
No choice? I think you're making life too difficult. Knights don't have to be perfect. All I'm saying is, I've seen some pretty sloppy knights out there.
That's not going to be me. I'm going to be a proud knight, virtuous and gallant.
Virtuous and gallant? Are you kidding me? If you just ride around being virtuous, people will get fed up. They'll boot you out of town.
It's never wrong to have virtue, not even if it means being made an outcast.
Interesting idea. You think very highly of this whole virtue thing. Say, have there been any knights who became great just by thinking highly of themselves? Think on this. Knights are supposed to protect people and earn their admiration. Isn't that right?
Well, yes. So what are you saying I should do?
Seize people's hearts!
What do you mean?
You want people to love you? Offer them something they haven't got. Guess what that is? It's you, Ash. They don't have you. Get out there, buddy. Be valiant. Help people. Here, I'll show you how it works.
Sylvain, don't go bothering people.
Hey there, cutie. You seem to have lots of bags there. They must be heavy. My name's Sylvain. Let me help you out. Are these going in the warehouse?
Helping out those in need, I guess that's a good start.
No thanks necessary. It's been enough just to be able to talk to you. Well, if you insist. How about we go get some tea? It must be fate that we met like this. I'd like to get to know you.
Great knight, huh? More like a great philanderer. Seems like all he wants to do is flirt with women. No, I can't allow this. I have to stop him.
I like Ash. He is such a pure boy. For a thief.
Alright. Who can Sylvain speak with?
Wait, can you go back up? Oh, I'm disappointed.
Mercedes and
I wanted to
Manuela.
see if you could get an A rank with Manuela.
Wait, what?
Just pairs
No.
Sylvain with Manuela.
Ugh, my head. Why am I here instead of the infirmary? When did I... Oh boy.
How are you feeling, Professor Manuela?
Uh-oh.
Sylvain? What do you need at this hour?
You don't remember? Well, you collapsed in the infirmary, and...
That doesn't sound like me. Wait, no, I remember. The truth is, something sad happened. So I did what I always do to forget my troubles.
Anyway, I found you passed out on the floor, helped you up, then carried you back here.
And what were you doing in the infirmary late at night? Not bringing a girl there, I hope.
Nope, I was definitely alone. I just had a bad feeling, and I decided to look around to see if anyone needed my help.
Ugh, my poor head.
Are you all right? Here, have some water.
What a thoughtful young man you are. You're a real gentleman, compared to that jerk who just...
That good-for-nothing guy who strung you along, whispered sweet nothings in your ear, then shattered your heart beyond repair? I agree. He's a jerk.
Oh no. Did I say those things to you?
Actually, your version had more details. Very detailed details.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
You know, Professor, you're a good catch. It's a shame that you've had no luck with men. You need a guy like me. Somebody who sees your beauty and appreciates how tender you are, emotionally, and how much love you have to give.
You're a smooth talker, even when you don't mean what you say. I'm going to change, so shoo, okay?
Sure, I can take a hint. Rest up, Manuela.
Thank you, Sylvain. I'm going to try and get some sleep. Did he just call me Manuela and not Professor? That sly little... Although... Me? With Sylvain? Now there's a crazy thought.
Okay, only a handful left. Oh, she goes up to A+ with Seteth.
Wait, what? Wait,
Hello.
is that what the pluses are?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Oh, she can speak with Seteth. I was about to say, Manuela, please,
Wow.
please.
She does not actually get into a lot of friendships with
Banish
anyone.
thoughts of Sylvain from your head.
If we go up a little bit,
Oh, yeah.
the only male students that she could end up with are Lorenz and Ferdinand. And then it's the adults.
Wait, Lorenz and Ferdinand?
Yeah. I mean, that just means that they'll have an epilogue together.
And then there's Alois.
Potentially.
Hanneman.
I'd love to see what all the combinations are. We'll never see them. But, like, somebody might compile
Oh, wait a
a
minute,
list.
she could be A rank with a ton of people. It's only Seteth that's A+.
But when I'm talking about dudes, usually having an epilogue with a dude means they marry.
Uh-huh. But the thing is,
But like,
isn't it possible that some of the women end up with women in this?
well, I would say if she ends up with an A rank with Dorothea, they go off and make their own singing troupe or go back to the singing troupe they're at. Flay, they probably go into medical science together. Alois is confusing because I think Alois is married. Or at least has a daughter?
He has a daughter, but
yeah.
who knows the state of his... Who knows?
Yeah.
But in any case, let's have her speak with Seteth.
Manuela, a moment?
Oh, hello, Seteth. I must apologize, but I am quite busy. Perhaps we could talk another time?
I have already confirmed that you have no urgent business. I would like to hear your explanation now.
My explanation? For what?
Allow me to be more specific. Where were you, and what were you doing last night?
Oh, my dear Seteth. You must relax that worried brow.
Is he gonna...
Those forehead creases will ruin your beauty.
Just answer the question, please.
What question is that? The one you already know the answer to? Last night I had a bit of fun and a bit of drink. Less of one and more of the other, sure, but...
How much you drink is not my concern. But you are an adult who is tasked with the supervision of children. You should not be causing trouble for the students. It is unacceptable for you to expose them to your disgraceful behavior. Even more so to impose upon them the labor of cleaning up your mess.
Oh, don't oversell it. All they did was walk with me back to my room.
From what I hear, you had to be carried.
I'd like to think I'd remember that. If it happened, and it probably didn't, it's not as if I'm heavy. Nobody hurt themselves. Did they? Come on, Seteth. Loosen up. If you're so worried about how I'll behave, why don't you join me for a drink sometime? I mean, I only get in trouble when I drink alone.
If it will help to improve your behavior, I would not object to accompanying you from now on.
Well, that sounds just delicious. What are you doing tonight, around...
But first I will lecture you on all of the intricacies of proper behavior in the supervision of children. And until I am done, you will not drink a drop of alcohol. If you agree to those conditions, I will join you. I will even drink with you. Alcohol has little effect on me.
That is just... You know, getting lectured by you is... Well, I think the word is torture. Yes, that's it. Torture. And I won't have it. I'm going to go get a drink and try to forget this ever happened.
How is it that you imagine yourself the tortured one?
I like it how Seteth even attempts to dad Manuela.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he's probably one of the eldest people in this game.
I think the only two characters that are older would be like Rhea and Sothis. And maybe one of the villains. But like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna see what his support conversations with Hanneman are, and see if he attempts to dad Hanneman. Because that would be amazing.
I wonder how many support conversations Manuela has with students that start with them dragging her back to her room after she's had too much to
every
drink.
single one of them
Because
starts the same way.
I thought it was just too coincidental that Seteth not only scolds her for drinking, but also having to be carried back to her room just after we had had Sylvain speak with her, and he had done just that. How he had dragged her back to her room after she had been too drunk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was just too perfect.
I want a Seteth conversation with like Alois or something where Seteth is just dadding Alois constantly and Alois doesn't know what the heck to do. Because Alois is like on a personal quest to maximum dad everyone with his like dumb jokes and like attempted being like wholesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
Okay, well, we'll have her speak with Sylvain.
Mercedes, you look divine as always. Are you off to pray?
Oh, hello, Sylvain. I was just on my way to pray. How did you guess?
Well, because I've been watching your lovely...
Oh, I get it. You're the type who's always looking at girls, aren't you?
Uh-oh.
I won't lie, I do enjoy beholding women, but I don't mean it like that with you. I know I sound like a dope. I think you're special.
Oh, really? You think I'm so clumsy that I need someone to watch over me. Is that why you can't take your eyes off me?
You're beautiful, and I mean that. You're... how can I put it without sounding even worse? Okay, here goes. I want to get to know you better. As friends, I mean.
I don't know where to begin.
Well, what's something you like?
I like to pray. I've been praying regularly since I was a child.
You grew up in the Empire, didn't you?
That's right. I was raised in House Bartels.
Bartels? I thought you were born to House Martreats.
It's a complicated story. I'm not sure that it's a very interesting one, but I'm happy to share it with you.
I don't mean to be nosy, if it's too personal.
Oh no, I don't mind. I wasn't trying to hide anything from you. House Martreats fell shortly before I was born.
Oh.
My father passed away while my mother was still pregnant with me, so she had nowhere to go. After I was born, my mother ended up marrying the head of House Bartels. Shortly after, my mother bore a true Bartel's child who bore a crest. She and I were treated as though we were no longer useful to the family after that.
You think the Bartels were just using her to secure a crest?
They must have been. My mother and I were removed from the family and forced to flee to a church in the kingdom. I abandoned the Bartel's name and took up our old family name again.
So you grew up in a church. Okay, it makes more sense now why you're praying all the time.
Yes, Oh, praying! I forgot that I was on my way to pray.
Right, and I interrupted you. Well, see you around, Mercedes.
Yes, see you.
House Bartels wanted a crest, and ruined other people's lives to get one. These idiots are all the same.
It was nice to see him react to that.
Well, like, the thing is, like, for a womanizer, his, like, motivations in life are super, like, he's actually one of the more,
He has a disdain for the people who seek out crests.
Yeah, like, he is actually one of the more immediately complex characters that we're presented with. And, like, part of the reason why we don't know much about Ferdinand is because he never presented himself as an interesting character.
There's no conflict. There was no character flaw as far as we could tell.
Well, it's not even, like, the flaw of Sylvain that, like, gets me. It's the fact that he's one of the only people that is, like, very aggressively questioning this system.
Mm-hmm.
And admittedly, it's because
Claude
it's
is doing
partially
so
ruining
too.
his life, but it's just, like, it is engaging because he is so focused on this. And, yeah, it's kind of nice to see him constantly flipping the script and being like, I'm only a dirtbag, 2 dirtbags for the most part.
So would that mean that Yuritsa is the crest bearer for
Correct.
House? Well, mhm.
For House Bartels.
Except now he's the Death Knight. And yeah, it was also a revelation that we had. One of our friends is playing the Japanese dub of the game, and she says that the people pronounce her name Mercedes.
Yeah. As opposed to Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Which is so weird.
I've always heard it said as Mercedes.
Yeah, normally.
And it's so weird that in the English version of the game it's Mercedes. Ah. In any case. Seteth. Oh, you can talk with Flame.
Brother!
Flame, is something the matter?
I thought I made it clear that I do not want you meddling in the affairs of me and my friends.
I am not quite sure what you are referring to, but I promise you I would never try to stand in your way.
It has come to my attention that you have been running about asking people what they think of me. Asking everyone.
Well, of course I have. It took me quite some time. But for you, it was well worth the effort. I was able to confirm that you are getting along well with everyone. It was very reassuring.
I cannot emphasize enough how embarrassed I was when I found out. And you have caused such a stir for those whom you questioned. Why, one person even said he feared for his life when you cornered him in the dining hall.
The dining hall? Ah, I know the fellow you are referring to. Yes, I've seen the way he looks at you. I recognized in an instant that he had impure feelings for you. As your brother, I took it upon myself to test his resolve. I merely asked him if he was prepared to lay his life on the line for my beloved sister.
He is nothing more than a friend. Kindly keep out of my social business in the future.
I am happy to see that you are making friends, but you should weigh your options more carefully.
Who I befriend is absolutely none of your business. Do you know what they call people like you? Overprotective meddlers. I am no longer a child. Are you incapable of trusting me, even a little?
Of course I trust you, but as an elder brother, I have a certain responsibility.
As my brother?
Obviously.
Oh, never mind it. If you'll excuse me.
She just likes the fact that they have to keep up this charade.
I hereby rank Flane as Dragon Copter on the daddy issue scale.
You mean Seteth is the Dragon Copter?
Correct.